Welcome to Ask the Lawyer radio podcast with attorney Brian Figueroa of the law firm Figueroa and Associates. This podcast features a recording of our most recent radio show aired on WVIP 93.5 FM radio weekly in New York City. We hope you enjoy the show, which features news, views, and interviews on matters such as immigration, personal injury, bankruptcy, divorce, family law, estate planning, wills and probate, deed transfers, civil rights, criminal defense, workers' compensation, and taxes, both individual and business. You can contact us at 855-768-8845 or visit us at www.askthelawyer.us. You have questions? We've got the answers.
Good day, good day, good day. My name is Brian Figueroa of the law firm Figueroa and Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers. The number to call, the number to keep, the number to share is 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. Again, we are faced with, tragedy, death in our community. Tyrie Nichols, a young man, obviously, who didn't live his full life. A family that mourns his death. The men in blue, police officers that were all black, basically violating any and every rule that he could think about where human rights are concerned. For whatever reason, we are butchered, we are slaughtered, it's like if we are not human beings, people of color. And the treatment of a man of color by these officers of color makes this issue even more tragic. You would think that these officers, understanding and experiencing the issue of racism in our community, would know better, would be more civilized, would be more humane in how they deal with a brother. And whether they like it or not, that's their brother. Brother from another mother, brother from a different father, but a brother. And obviously we want them to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. We want them to go to prison. We want them to pay for the crimes that they have allegedly committed. Obviously, the family is going to be compensated by any civil rights lawsuit, and it's going to be millions of dollars, as it should be. But that money could never replace their son. That child that came into the world, that they hugged, that they loved, that they nurtured, a child. And think about your own child, damn boy, whoa. I have 3 sons, 12, 11, 10, and I think about them. They being subjected to that type of, execution. And that's what all parents, people of color, this is what they face, giving their children special instructions as how to behave. Now, obviously, not only when you talk about, in New York City, the NYPD white, you have to talk about the NYPD black also. But they are all, as we say, the men in blue. The men in blue that have a particular culture, that have a particular relationship through their union, through their work environment. I mean, I've spoken to black officers here in New York City, and they're scared to wear a mask through the pandemic because they don't know what response their white colleagues will have. Think about that. So if you're a black officer with the New York City NYPD, and you're scared to wear a mask because you're scared of what these white folks, fellow NYPD officers, their opinions, damn, we got serious problems. So Mayor Eric Adams, that PBA that you belong to before, and in your heart you probably still think that you're part of the police fraternity, which is true. How do you deal with the issues here in New York City so that our brothers and sisters would be safe in New York City? Whether you like it or not, Mayor Eric Adams, that's your responsibility. And it's not just a civil rights issue, it's a human issue. It is about how civilized people supposed to treat each other. Whether it be those people coming across the border, staying in New York City now, seeking political asylum, whether it be the people who have mental illness that are in the subway system or within the city, the streets. How do we help these people? They are human beings. And because of tragedy in their lives, they now have mental issues. But do we put them in prison? Do we refuse to give them reasonable bail at their hearings, their criminal court hearings, when they obviously try to be out of the prison while their case goes on and not have to take a plea because the time spent in prison is more than the time they would have gotten had they been released on bail? So we have a lot of serious human issues, human rights issues. Fortunately for New York City, the United Nations is right here. And the United Nations have their own stance on human rights issue that the U.S. is party to. And why do we in this country continuously ignore the human rights of people of color? It must end. None of these parents, doesn't matter what money you give them in compensation, they will never have that loving child in their life again. Again, my name is Brian Figueroa of the law firm Figueroa & Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers. The number to call, the number to keep, the number to share is 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. Thank you, and God bless the family of Tyrie Nichols. And it's these moments in time that we hope that he has gone to heaven somewhere beyond where his life would be peaceful. Thank you.
Do you have a legal issue, question, or concern? Turn to Ask the Lawyer. You have questions, we've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. You can also register for our paralegal program, get legal news, business consults, or other information on educational issues. Yes, Ask the Lawyer. You have questions, we've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us.